first time in my life, I've bought a bike in a box. Well, that's not entirely true, because about 20 years ago I bought a Cell Swift, which was this bike before I painted it a different shade of yellow and put a yellow sticker on it. Now, the Cell Swift was a Tiagra level alloy road bike with a carbon fork. The Polygon is a Tiagra level alloy road bike with a carbon fork. Part of the reason I bought the Polygon S4 was to see how much things have come forward in the last 20 years. The first surprise is the price. Back in the day, yellow cost $1,100. Now, if you apply inflation, it should be that a bike like this should cost over $1,500. I bought that for $1,300 delivered to my house at the time. My initial impressions of the Polygon were far better than expected. I had fully expected to have to upgrade the tyres straight away, but the Schwalbe 28mm tyres, pretty good. And then there was the extra unexpected thing. The bar tape. It was quite soft. Soft bar tape, nice tyres. Oh my goodness, great impression of a bike. Online reviews will often criticise this bike for the build quality as far as how it's put together in the box and then shipped to you. My bike was quite good. I did have to fiddle with the front derailleur adjustment. Initial impressions of the bike, other than the tyres and the bar tape, the brakes felt awful. I have the feeling that there may be some sort of coating on the rims to stop them rusting, and so the front brake sorted itself out pretty quickly. The rear brake, though, felt a bit crunchy, restricted, so I shortened the cable and replaced the inner cable, and the rear brake is really good. The second thing I noticed was the front derailleur was so light compared to my Dura Ace front derailleur on my Focus. It was so light, so that was a plus. The rear derailleur is slightly slower in changing than the Dura Ace rear derailleur. The fourth thing I noticed is there seems to be one rattle built into the bike, and that's where the cables come in. I don't believe they're secured or wrapped in a foam, so when you hit a reasonable bump, the cables will rattle on the front. But the main thing was the wheel weight. The wheels, and this is the original Polygon wheel, the wheels are really heavy. So the wheels, tyres, tubes and cassette weighed almost 4 kilos. Now, to put that in perspective, my Focus wheels, which are a particularly light alloy wheel, they weighed just over 2.2 kilos. Now, it was a difference of just over 1.5 kilos, which on the road means this. When you're riding at, say, above 25 kilometers an hour and you get out of the saddle to get into a bit of a sprint, light wheels, your bike will easily go left and right, left and right. So the acceleration under big efforts is slower. How fast is it? Of course, that's the main question. After a 60-kilometre faster group ride, I was beaten to the coffee shop by one bloke. I was able to keep up quite easily. It isn't a slow bike. It really rolls along quite well. My 6.7 kilo Focus is definitely faster up hills. The Polygon, the first time I rode it, I swapped out the seat post and the seat, and with the bottle cage, pewter mount, all up it was 9.7 kilos. Since then, my Focus for Christmas has received some new carbon wheels, so this has had some trickle-down upgrades in the light alloy wheel. So now this bike is 8.5 kilos. The Tiagra Groupset. The only real complaint I've got with the Tiagra Groupset is the cranks. They are at least 250 grams heavier than a Shimano 105 crank, but that doesn't really matter. The crank itself, I feel, might be a bit flexy under big efforts. I don't miss having 11 speed, like who cares? The way these Tiagra group sets are sold seems to be that they get a 12 to 28 cassette. I don't miss the 11 tooth cog. The shifters, they look fantastic. They look as good as a Dura shifter, really. So the big improvement in the last 18 years over the Cell Swift is there's no cables coming across, so the whole front end looks a whole lot neater. Overall, this is a really good bike for the money. It's fun to ride, it's comfortable, and without doing anything, it's a great bike. Looking online at the competition, the Merida Sculptura rim brake bike, currently at 99 Bikes in Brisbane, Australia, is actually $100 cheaper than the current Polygon. So it seems like the Polygon's had a paint colour change and it's a new model, so they've put it up to the full retail price again. So the Sculptura is actually $100 cheaper. You also get bike shop support, so would I recommend this one over the Sculptura? The reason I would recommend this one is this one has a threaded bottom bracket, and it also comes with 28mm tyres. The big but with the Merida though, and a lot of bike, is you can't get one, whereas you can get one of these. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. In the near future, I'm going to do a long-term review of my Specialized E5 comp and a review of my new carbon wheels, which were a 50mm, 60mm Yolio carbon wheel. If you can hit the like button, that'd be great. Hope to see you in the next one.